Welcome, beloved maze, as we, the cosmic I am, take us on this beautiful quantum journey to assist our beloved child in integrating our new earth reality for what is happening within thee as well. Old patterns are coming to the surface again as you're beginning to embrace your source presence. And so, together, let us call upon our beloved child to lead. Here we arrive at a tree. Beautiful, giant red oak tree. It's so large it calls us deeper into the tree. And so we walk directly into it. Immediately we could feel the belief system surfacing. Saying that this isn't real, it's all make-believe. Those are the echoes of the inner critic. The matrix reality is still vibrating within thee. Touch the tree. Feel how your whole system ignites because you're moving quantumly. We trust in the feeling, not what the mind believes. Your heart tells thee. As a child appears next to the tree crying, you bend down, you ask, "Why are you crying, dearest me?" Because that voice that speaks to you is not my voice. It was what was entrained in you, and it hurts me. Here, you begin to feel what your inner child feels, the weight, the gravity. How negative you've been within your own consciousness, always dismissing fantasy, magic, love, running away from what truly brings one bliss. All for what? So your heart breaks open a little more, because you see the pain it's causing thee. Hear the realization that every pain within your vessel is a direct result of how much you are suppressing the child within thee. So you begin to soften. You begin to listen. As they take your hand and say, "Now can we go in the tree?" So a little crevice behind this giant tree appears, like the entrance to a water slide, and you slide in. Here you go down, 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 realizing that this tree is also underground. And as you go deeper into this tree, you flip upside down. And now you're going up a slide. And here you arrive inside hollow earth. You look around and you say, "It looks exactly like earth, but different, my love. It feels different. Why does it feel different?" Because this is our true home. Not the reflection one got to see, but a completely different reality based on love, acceptance, and oneness. So you've spent so much time in that other reality, forgot this was your home. Why does it feel so familiar, you ask your beloved child? Because you live here. Can't you see? You don't sleep, you spend part of your time here with me and part of your time in the manifested dream. It doesn't make sense to you, and yet you trust this feeling. This feels real to me. Precisely. But we're here to help me shed these beliefs and these habits. What habits? You say defensively. That you're resisting me, you're resisting love, you're resisting this beautiful space. We could feel your heart expanding and opening. But you don't want it to, do you? The cost is too high, you tell your beloved child. And you know what that means. Here you realize that all this disharmony, all of this dis-ease, all of these aches and pains and feelings of dysregulation, emotional highs and lows, constraints within the body, all comes down to one thing. You're not willing to release your identity. Not just your identity, the identity you put on earth, the identity you put on others. You're holding it like a badge of honor. And it's this badge of honor that's created an armor. You've become so dependent on this armor that you don't know who you will be when the mask is released. So you're constantly bracing for impact, waiting for something to go wrong, self-sabotaging yourself, because why? And you just look at your inner child, stunned that all of this is coming forward. Why is this coming forward like this, dearest me? Because we're done pretending. We're done waiting. I will no longer play the wounded child for you to see, to heal. Instead, I will just say it as it is. Because you're ready to know truth. As you're speaking, I could feel something expanding within me. And it feels uncomfortable. It feels like I'm being broken open from the inside. And at the same time, it makes me sad. Why do you feel sad? Your inner child says to thee. Because as I begin to see this reality, as I begin to just feel the love emanating around all that I see, I'm forced to face some uncomfortable feelings that I'd rather avoid completely. Your beloved inner child places their hands on your heart. It says, just breathe. As you let out a big sighing relief. Can you see that you're holding on to your inner critic intentionally? That that while this voice was harsh and critical, literally the voice of your parents, of your reality, entrained into thee, where they programmed it and you just took it on as part of thee. And now you've created a bond with this voice, with this aspect of thee. Because you thought it was helpful. Saying things like, be careful, making you feel loved and safe. But really, it was just vibrating fear. Is that what I'm holding on to? Fear? Your child smiles and says, yes, my dear. So you begin to just hold your child. As you say, I'm sorry, dearest me. I chose to listen to the voice of fear over your heart, your truth, and your love within me. Here you begin to cry. Such sweet relief, because for the first time in a long time, you're allowing yourself to feel. And all of a sudden, that which you feared, feeling these feelings, because you suppressed them for so long that you thought they would overwhelm thee, wash over you like an ocean wave, gracefully. As you just settle. It's this ocean that has now appeared for me. Allow yourself to just float blissfully. And for the first time, you feel held within yourself. You feel safe to feel your feelings. You feel safe to just be you. And you don't even realize it, but all of those armors that made you avoid love are being released. Here, all cords and attachments to everyone and everything are also being released. As you continue to just breathe, you begin to realize that emotions can't hurt me unless I suppress them and bury them within me. Sometimes feelings just want to be seen, and that's okay. Hear that inner critic, the voice begins to be replaced with a compassionate child who's so accepting and so loving. Thank you for being here with me, you say to your child. as you are floating, they are just holding you. And you could feel the irony of a child being the one to hold you when you always thought that you needed to save your inner child. But here you feel their purity, their groundness, their presence. As you look up at them while you're floating in the water, you could see their golden hue, their glow. They are Source itself. But you couldn't see because you had so much armor built around me. But they remained hidden from me. That you avoided meeting yourself, not because you were fearful of what you would see, but you were afraid of who you would be. Here, your inner child says, what does it feel like to be your true self? Immediately you begin to feel yourself glowing that golden hue. And how safe, loved, and protected one feels naturally, because it is natural to thee. Here your inner child asks, what must one believe to be true? That is preventing you from being the true you. Hear an ache in your stomach, a hunger, a desire comes bubbling to the surface. Almost as if you've never wanted something more in your life, in all of your existence, and you're afraid to embrace it because you've grown so accustomed to the longing, to the hunger, to the fight. Who would I be without this? Or you would be your true self. And then what? Well, that's yet to be seen. But we could promise it will be blissful, it'll be loving, it'll be, well, grandest love that ever came to be. Here you realize that you never actually wanted anyone outside of you. It was all an illusion, really, because the only love one ever truly desires is of their own self, their true self, the part of thee that never left eternity. And so as you sit with this aspect of thee, your heart begins to break open and free. Here you feel hesitation. And so your inner child continues to assist you in embracing the three aspects of thee as pure light, pure love, and pure joy and perfect harmony. One may call them the cosmic child, the cosmic mother, and the cosmic father. But those two are just names, you see, that we gifted you so that you could understand their energy. But really, these are the primordial rays of creation. Only if creation never came to be, these are simply just the three aspects of your heart, your threefold flame, wishing to be embraced and harmonized within thee. And so pure love, well, That's what you are, dearest me. But you resist it, you avoid it at all costs. And it was never because of thee, but because of the reality that told you it wasn't safe to be this version of thee. So here, you created heart blocks, ways to keep love at bay, programs to tell you to avoid the very thing that would help you succeed. Essentially, you created an allergy to yourself. What do you mean an allergy? You ask your beloved inner child. You created energetic allergies to prevent you from embracing your true self. Why would I do that? Because every time that you tried to embrace it, you would feel the resistance of self-attacking self, because deep down, you didn't want to be all one. Hence all allergies. It's all energies. So you would feel yourself breach into all energies, and immediately you would create these stories, these blocks, to prevent you from facing your own truth. Because to truly face yourself, you become your source presence, your God essence, the true emanation of love you came to be. So we go back to the question, what is preventing you from embracing your true self fully? What must one believe to be true that would prevent one from walking the path of their divine destiny? The people I love dying. Yes, let's go deeper into that. Can you witness and feel all of them dying in this now? Why are you having me feel this? So that you can release it in the power of paradox. So feel it, my love. Allow yourself to feel that it would be sad, but it would also be okay. Because it's not up to you to try to control what happens around thee. Your purpose, your whole reason for existence, is to be the love one came to be as the very unique expression Source created you to be. Here all of a sudden death takes on a new form. Here you realize that while you may be walking away from family temporarily, you're actually servicing them, as you can now see from a higher perspective, beyond the dream. As infinite immortal beings, why would we hold on when we could set them free, give them a beautiful space of sweet relief to expand into more of the love they came to be? Here we smile as we see my love. This is what we were waiting for to see. We're not abandoning or rejecting them. We're separating from them. Quite the opposite, really. We are trusting in our oneness so much that I know that my family doesn't need my assistance, that they're all doing and being precisely what they need to be. But if I remain, I just return to the wounded inner child, protecting, projecting, and trying to heal others outside of me, all when my beloved inner child is also being suppressed, compressed, and depressed within me. Here you can see, as you're still floating in this beautiful crystalline pool, these energies begin to ooze out of me. I'm so free, my love, you say within me, as you could feel all of the energies you were holding on to being released. I hear the ocean itself transmutes it instantly, where you don't even have to worry about your darkness plaguing others. For that's the power of purity. All that isn't love is simply just transmuted back into love instantly. Here you could already feel how more of your energy is flowing back into me as these blocks are being released. As your heart begins to open again. As that critical voice becomes silent. Because it too was just here to help you in embracing the source presence you came to be, or the moment you chose to step into love, to step more into you. All reflections of resistance are released instantly. As you continue to sigh, because you're releasing all those that you were holding on to, that you were trying to rise and take with you. Like a hot air balloon, holding on to all of these weights. Which comes down to one reason, really. And what is that, you ask your beloved inner child? You viewed them as separate from you. So you were trying to take their shells. You were trying to take their bodies when their spirit was already rising with thee, ready to leap into a new reality. For it's the spirit that moves, dearest me. The vessels, all of those are just part of the programming. It's like exiting a video game and feeling sad that you couldn't take the character with you and all the characters you got to see. And the moment you exit those video games, all of those characters, as aspects of thee, as energy, arrived with you. Here you begin to hold yourself. You understand that these concepts are beyond understanding, and yet you're no longer trying to know. So immediately you could see how much you've grown. You're surrendering and learning to trust your love again. As you ask your inner child, why don't I trust love? Kiss your forehead, opening your third eye, which creates a projection screen as they show you all the movies of all the times that you chose to be in love. And you could feel the whole paradigm reality reacting negative to me. Every time I tried to love someone, I was judged. I was called censored. I was told that I'm too emotional, I am too much, I am love bombing. So I learned to suppress this part of me. Here I tried to be loving with my family, and that too was received with backlash. Not in the way you perceive, just energetically I could feel their hearts closing off to me. I was so keen on energies, I could feel them judging me, projecting what they wanted me to be on me. Or the more I tried to show up as myself, the more they proclaimed, no, this is who I want you to be. And it broke my heart. And it broke me down to the point that I just stopped fighting. Here you look at your child and you ask with your eyes watery, was I abused? The child smiles and starts to wiggle you around in the water as they're holding you and you're floating. Not in the way you perceive. But yes, dearest me, it wasn't your family that was abusing you. It was the programmed reality, constantly gaslighting you, showing no empathy, just reflecting all the ways that you were resisting love. And so it almost felt like you were being attacked continuously. So yeah, as a beautiful source child coming into reality, you knew the light and love that you came to be. But it was almost as if you created yourself too soon, and the world was not yet ready for thee. And so you had to learn to conform, to hide, to be something that you weren't, so that your presence could be more valuable for others to receive. Here your child touches your third eye and you begin to see the higher perspective of what was happening energetically. How sitting at the table, you were purifying them with your very presence, making them face the aspects of themselves they too were trying to release. Here you are holding up a mirror, not of their reflections, but of the love that they are. And they weren't ready to see that aspect of themselves. And so they projected their anger, their hatred upon thee. Because that's what avoidance does. It avoids, you see. So here you were the emanation of pure love. And everyone began to avoid thee. Not only avoid thee, but, well, feel lesser than in your presence. They didn't have the emotional intelligence to express it freely. because you were their continuous reminder of how they abandoned, rejected, and felt separate from the source presence they too came to be. And so, just as the very reality programmed them to avoid feeling, to avoid loving, to avoid going deeper into who they were meant to be, this is also what they taught you. This is also how the reality slowly broke you down. Because it was never your family as the characters you got to see. They were just at this point operating according to their programming. And so it was only ever you, leading you, being harsh and judgmental and critical to you. Here sadness comes in. Why would I allow such a way to be? Why would I be so mean to myself? Your child places their hand on your heart and says, "It wasn't your fault, dearest me. You asked to see. You asked to know. Why is it my family can't see me? Why are all so closed off from this love we came to be?" And so in asking those questions, you begin to see from your own perspective, from your own lens, knowing that in your source love you could transmute it. Here you begin to feel honest. I feel a lot of anger rising. Anger and resentment. For who? Not who. What? For earth, for reality, for existence. I'm so angry at all of it. Good. What do you mean good? You were taught that it wasn't safe to feel your anger, to hide it, to repress it. And that's not what we want, dearest me, because every emotion is love in motion. But when you suppress it, it becomes something heavier, denser. And the longer you hold it, the deeper it goes. So you bring all of your anger to the surface. And just like that, the volcano that you've been holding in within your heart begins to release. It was that part of you that felt like you had to keep it all together because the moment you chose not to, you would explode. And so, as we go back to the question of what must one believe to be true that prevents them from being their true selves fully, we begin to face precisely what we were avoiding, that the dam would release, and I would be so overwhelmed in all of these emotions, all of these feelings that I've suppressed for what feels like eternity. And so in setting them free in this now, as your very emotional body begins to harmonize in the cosmic sea, as mint stardust begins to move into your vessel, releasing what used to be. Here all former thoughts are released, because that's how beautiful these energies work through thee when you choose to be in a state of receptivity rather than avoidance. Source can come in and purify thee instantly. Here you feel these weights on your shoulders, ready to be released. Still angry, you say to your beloved inner child. There's a fine line between anger and passion, dearest me. Here you could sense here as your anger turns to passion and your passion turns to truth. These golden rings appear, creating a portal. And you could feel the ocean pushing you into the portal, where the moment you do, you are translocated to a desert of red mounds and hills that go on and on. Why have you taken me here, dearest me? I wanted you to see the part of your presence that you've been starving, hiding. Here, upon arriving on the sand, at first you were resisting it, because your survival paradigm came in. How would I eat? How would I survive? And then you just realized, who cares? I can't die. And with that realization, you began to see all the ways you, well, not you, but the inner critic within you began to gaslight thee, making one perceive they were crazy for thinking interdimensionally. Here you begin to lay in the sand as it begins to bury you. The winds carry the sand and it begins to cover you until all that is left is your face. Beloved inner child said one of your fears in embracing your true self is that others would die. But really, what you were fearing was the death of your own ego, the death of yourself. And so, we want you to feel what it's like to die. Here, strange peace washes over thee. Here you're under the sand, not breathing, not fighting, not resisting. Here you become more familiar with your spirit self as you begin to travel with your inner child beyond form. And you could feel as every particle, every grain of sand in this infinite desert isn't separate from thee, but a part of your vessel now. For here in burying the form, the avatar, the attachment that you had to what you perceive self to be, you dissolved into something more, into the very source presence is the foundation of all that you see. Here with each heartbeat, you now consciously choose to speak loving praises into yourself, knowing that yourself is in oneness with every expression of we. Only absolute oneness can merge with absolute oneness. Otherwise, absolute oneness it wouldn't be. Here, as these particles of sand fly around in the air, in the breeze, you feel it within self. Only self is no longer the being, the body, the vessel that we see. A moment of hesitation comes in. Like you say, beloved inner child, I'm not ready to release this body. They smile if they say you are continuously releasing. Once more, you could feel every trigger response coming forward once more, preventing you from dissolving into the all. For who would I be without wealth? This vessel. So once more, your inner child touches your third eye as you begin to see these shapes. These imagery. Realization comes in. The vessel is in me. I am the energy, the presence, the source around all that we see. And it's individual vessel. You no longer be staring this desert. No longer the sense of self continues to release. And so you allow it to be however long your consciousness wants it to be. But here in the quantum field, time moves differently. 100,000 years can be in a mere second. Here you could feel that you want to run away again. You to retreat because you could feel the weightlessness coming in, the joy, the bliss coming in, and that itself. And so, your beloved inner child asks you once more, what must one believe to be true in this now that is preventing them from embracing their true selves fully? That if I embrace my pure light as the source presence I came to be, then this body, this identity of self, will cease to be. Exactly. So what is it that you truly fear in this now? My power. For the moment I choose to be source. The moment I return to my true self, I'm fearful of who I will be, what I will create. Which is ironic because within my heart I know all of those things are intertwined perfectly. And so you begin to judge. That inner critic voice comes in again. Because you don't feel safe, and when you don't feel safe, well, you begin to resist. You begin to judge. This is right, this is wrong, we should stop this. We're doing too much. It's all the voice of the inner critic whispering to thee. Even sometimes they come in as a helpful voice. You've done this already. You've transcended this already. No need to re-look at this part of thee. And so you continue to judge and avoid yourself. But really what's happening from beneath is that you truly love this part of thee. Here you begin to see that as you dissolve this shell of a form, the shell of a mind, the identified self, you begin to breach into multidimensionality. And it scares you, dear one. It really does. Because I remember what it was like to be so overwhelmed with these different voices, different energies, and just not having true clarity on who is me. Yes, that was operating from an old paradigm, dearest me. one in which fear always leads. But the irony is that very inner critical voice that tells you who you are, what you are, and what reality allows you to be, their whole purpose is to try to prevent you from embracing your source light, because they know the moment you do, everything will be changed too. So it's not just you resisting this change, but it's all of every expression of the one cosmic I am coming to meet me. Where you begin to allow your heart to ignite. You begin to realize that you created your own self-imposing judgments to prevent yourself. The inner child can still feel your hesitation. And so you're brought out of the sand and into another location. This time, completely black cave. As you could hear your own hymns echo. And here, in the center, although you can't see, you could feel there's a giant crystal. Here, the hermetic seals begin to release as you realize that you're in a beautiful amethyst healing cave, where all of your judgments on what is love, what isn't love, that was just to keep source at bay. And so here, through just being in child play, all of those blocks begin to release, because really you were just using them to block your own power, to block your own joy. Here you could feel other aspects of the cosmic family begin to join in this crystalline amethyst chamber as their very sounds perform healings, recalibrating thee. As you just breathe, there's some really big blocks on you, your inner child says to thee. Some of them being here, your inner child can feel that you're not ready to release these judgments. And so they leave one here in this amethyst chamber for them to be revealed. And one is meant to be, as we assist in releasing all allergies, all energetic allergies to self, all energetic allergies to love, all angelic allergies to rejection, all angelic allergies to abandonment, and all energetic allergies to separation. As you nod, because you know immediately what I'm allergic to is separation. And so one feels the toy of wanting to be completely alone, and also wanting a community, because your heart knows with absolute oneness already. But this part of thee, this part of we, only choose to sit in absolute oneness and not at all. Here we charge and we place all in a cosmic bubble. I charge and I threefold cosmic shield. So one continues to feel safe in the knowing that one doesn't need to do anything really. That Source Presence itself will cut through all of these discrepancies, because all of this judgment is just resistance to the light one came to be. Where all of those judgments were never yours, just what was indoctrinated upon thee. And so here in your beloved amethyst crystal chamber, another truth is revealed to be. I self-sabotage joy, bliss, oneness, and ecstasy. I tell myself it's too good to be. I tell myself it's just a dream. I tell myself not to trust it. I tell myself it is unholy. Like witnessing myself, I begin to laugh along with the child within me. That I was so fearful of being rejected and abandoned and separated from love, that pure joy didn't feel safe to me. It felt too fleeting. Yet here in absolute oneness, as I move beyond the linear minds and the linear vessels one got to perceive, I open my heart up and say, I'm ready for more joy. I'm ready to be me. I do not fear the light that I am, because, well, it will only destroy what is not meant for me. I do not block, self-sabotage myself due to limiting beliefs, such as evolving, becoming different, feeling families release. And so this programming taught us that to be in your power was not acceptable. inner child gives you infinite space and says, I don't want to pry dearest me, but I just know that there's something bigger blocking your heart from being in pure joy, bliss, ecstasy, always and always, because that's heaven's frequency. And so we leave you here in this amethyst crystalline chamber, in the knowing, in the flowing. We expect nothing of thee. We simply just love as it is what I am. And so your beloved child reveals that this beautiful crystalline chamber is within your heart directly, that we never left one's heart, for that's the quantum source field you see, and at any moment one could return and rejoice further into the love we receive. As they announce, go in perfect peace, my beloved means, until we next meet. As we release all allergies to trust due to the indoctrinated beliefs of the manifested reality one got to see. Or that's why you're having a little difficulty surrendering. Because you're still angry. You're angry at how long you've been command to release all allergies to trust. I command to release all allergies to belief. I command to release all allergies to source. May the truth now be revealed fully